So now we're going to start on our garlic horseradish sauce. I don't know if you've ever worked with fresh horseradish before. Most of the time you see it in the jars where it's already been cut for you. I love horseradish. This is a fresh horseradish root. You can see this been plucked out of the ground. Horseradish gets activated when you start to break into it, so it'll stay fresh in this form with the skin on it for quite a long time. And basically all we're going to do is remove the skin off of the horseradish, and this is a fairly large piece, so you would probably never cut this big a piece unless you were going to put it into a jar with a little bit of vinegar so that you could keep it to use it again and again. So I'm going to cut off the ends, and you got to give it a little bit of pressure to get through there because it is a root. It's a little bit hard to cut through. The smell is unbelievable. Once you permeate that skin, it is really a wonderful smell, especially if you are nuts about horseradish the way I am. If you have the opportunity when you're cutting to put something that is a flat edge down onto your cutting board, it's always so much easier to cut than trying to cut when something is rolling all over the cutting board. So I'm just going to get the rest of these skin pieces off with my knife. And then you can use anything that you have at home that's convenient. I'm going to use a microplane. You could use just a regular grater. And I'm just going to grate some of the ginger. We're looking to get about 3 tablespoons. So depending on the size of the grater that you have is how long it's going to take you to do it. And of course mine's all gathering in the back of the grater. Oh, it smells so amazing. It's almost so pungent that that it starts to fill up your nose. But you can tell it's going to work. So I've got plenty here now. I only needed 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to put my 3 tablespoons of horseradish in, and you've got yogurt in your kit. We use coconut yogurt, so this is a non-dairy yogurt. We're going to add that into our bowl. And I would incorporate, let's get the flavors melding together, getting to know one another. Oh, that horseradish, so strong. I love horseradish. So obviously you're going to have plenty of this that you can put in a jar that'll last, up to 10 days in your fridge so that you can have it. You can have it again long after Valentine's Day. So we've got that incorporated. I'm going to clean up a little space here. And then in your kit, we included some roasted garlic. And roasted garlic is so easy. You leave the skins on the heads. You cut the top off. We wrap it in, we put foil and then parchment down. Cover it in olive oil. Seal it all up, put it in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour, and you get beautiful roasted garlic. And the reason that you would want to do this is in a recipe where you're eating something that's not cooked, I prefer the roasted garlic because sometimes raw garlic can be really strong, and you already have wonderful, pungent flavor from the horseradish. Now, if you like raw garlic, you can certainly use that, but roasted garlic has somewhat of a sweet flavor, and depending on the time of the year, whether the garlic is fresh or not, and this time of year we're not getting garlic from the farm anymore, it's not as sweet raw. So it's another reason why I like to roast it. And you can put in as much garlic as you like. I'm a garlic girl, so I tend to like a lot of garlic. And roasted garlic has a completely different texture. You can mush it with your hands. So I would just add this right into your bowl, and you can mash it up with a fork, or if you wanted to, chop it on your chopping block before you put it in, just to break it down a little bit. You can do that, but it has such an easy, workable texture. And then we're going to add that in. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'm just going to incorporate all the ingredients just to get out any lumps, make it nice and creamy. But something that you want to remember when you're doing this, in any dish that you make, you're following a recipe, you're following instruction, but it all basically comes down to what you like. And a recipe might say add a teaspoon of salt or add 4 cloves of garlic. But if you love garlic, then add more garlic. But you always want to taste whatever it is that you're making to see if this needs, it definitely has enough horseradish in it, because I love the taste of horseradish, but it definitely needs a little bit of salt and pepper. And you have the option in your kit. So here at the Carrot, they're called chiltepin peppers, or chiltepin. And if you want to crush those up, and I recommend anytime you work with any hot peppers that you put gloves on your hands. My hands go through a lot on a day-to-day basis between, washing dishes and constantly washing my hands. So I'm not as concerned about it. But if you are at home and you chop these and then you accidentally wipe your eye or go to eat something and you touch, on your tongue, they are hot. The nice thing about them is that they are small, and so you can titrate them into whatever it is that you're making. So I recommend that you put a small amount into your yogurt, mix them in, let it sit for a bit, let the flavors all marry together, and then give it another little try, because the horseradish has heat to it, but it's not what you would consider like a spicy heat. It's very different. It kind of catches you at the end. So when I've added that in, I've added a little bit of heat and some extra salt. That's really good. I hope that you enjoy the sauce as much as I do. I love horseradish with filet. It's one of my favorite things. So we're going to get this wrapped up, and we're going to get it in the refrigerator and put all our meal together. We're going to get our vegetables out of the oven. So we'll do that right now.